Díomh a gcuinúisle, tá fáilte ribh cách inniu don ócáid speisialta seo in Ollscoil Limnaí, Cúnda Limnaí in Éireann. Hello to everybody, and you are most welcome to our graduation ceremony here today at the University of Limerick on the banks of the River Shannon, Ireland. It is a wonderful day that we have planned for you, and I hope that you, your friends and your family get to enjoy this special time as the University awards you for your endeavour and achievement during the course of your studies with us here at the University of Limerick. Take this time to relax and enjoy and breathe in the significance of your achievement. And note that this achievement is something that will always stay with you and that you will be able to reflect back on in years to come as you recount the journey of your time here at the University of Limerick, the times where you put in great effort to achieve your goals, to work with your lecturers and tutors and professional staff in order to realise the dreams that you came to us with on the first day of your journey. I hope that this special occasion for you, your family and your friends is all that it can be at this time, and that you will go on to celebrate even when this ceremony is over. Cogardicus live Galair.
Graduands, as Provost and Deputy President, it's my great honour to welcome you all to this online conferring ceremony at the University of Limerick. For UL, graduation ceremonies are the highlight of the academic calendar. It's the opportunity to come together to celebrate our students' hard work and perseverance, as well as their academic success. Graduation is a day to be celebrated with your family and friends, to recognise your academic achievements and the end of your studies. We hope that you'll be able to mark this milestone in a special way with your loved ones. For some of you, it will be the start of another journey, either into the workforce as a UL graduate or onto further education, where you'll build upon the educational foundations you received at UL. On behalf of everyone here at UL, I offer you our warmest congratulations to each and every one of you, and we wish you every success in the next stage of your journey. This year, due to the pandemic, we are graduating the class of 2021 in online ceremonies. We hope you will enjoy this special occasion. The full ceremony will last about 45 minutes. At the end of the ceremony, UL students from the Irish World Academy of Music and Dance will close the event with a spectacular display. Before we begin the formal part of this online ceremony, Professor Shane Kilcummins, the Executive Dean for the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, will explain to us the significance of the academic dress and the use of the mace at ceremonial events.
Hello and welcome to this UL online conferring ceremony. My role today is to say a few words on the significance of the academic robes worn by our academic staff and the graduates. The origins of academic attire date back to the 12th century, when universities were beginning to emerge. At that time, the dress of the scholar, both student and teacher, was that of the monk. The academic gown can be traced back to the Council of Oxford in 1222, where the local bishop decreed that all clergy should wear a closed flowing gown. Both Oxford and Cambridge adopted this practice and continued it even when the clerical attire changed. In 1895, formal standards were agreed for American universities, which continue to this day. There, the colour used is indicative of the subject to which the degree pertains. This same uniformity does not apply here in Ireland, and you will find it very difficult to identify a pattern or consistency. The hood was originally intended to serve as a cover for the tonsured head of the cleric. Caps came to be used later. You will notice that some academics wear caps while others do not, depending on the custom at the university at which the degree was conferred. In medieval times, the mace was a weapon of war and was a heavy staff or club made from metal and was originally used for breaking armour. In 13th century France, the mace was carried out by the monarch's bodyguard and began to acquire a ceremonial function as a symbol of secular power. At a live ceremony, parchments would be presented across the university mace to the graduating students by the president. Today, the UL mace will be placed on the table in front of our president to maintain its significance for use in acknowledging your academic achievement. I hope that you enjoy the ceremony and can celebrate your success with your families at home. Thank you.
I now call on Professor Kirsten May, President, to officially start proceedings and to deliver her conferring address.
Members of governing authority, members of academic council, parents, partners and families, graduates of the class 2021, colleagues, a meeting of the university is hereby convened for the purpose of conferring academic awards. Exercising the power granted to the University of Limerick by Oireachtas Éireann, I hereby confer degrees of the university on graduates from the Faculty of Science and Engineering. Graduates, welcome, dear Yves. As I begin today, I will offer you the warmest of congratulations on completing this hugely important part of your learning journey. I also decided to begin today by looking at UL from the outside, as somewhat of an island, but that is where I paused, as there is no doubt we are part of a much bigger community, a strong local and international family that helps us to have an outward perspective and helps us to enhance and develop the way we educate our young leaders of tomorrow. We know that the last 17 months have disrupted our lives, our work, our education and research, and indeed our families, kinships and friends. Amid that disruptions, we are emerging from those clutches through research, advances in medicine, but most of all through the solidarity and determination of our communities. Speaking of emerging, today you are completing your chosen journey through higher education. For some of you, your steps on this pathway of formal education will end here, and you will become competent and dynamic members of the workforce. For others, you will stay on this path of knowledge exchange and take your studies onwards. Nonetheless, and whatever path you have chosen, your success is hard-earned, highly valued, and above all, a credit to you and your entire support network. No one gets to graduate without a great deal of hard work, commitment, and some degree of self-sacrifice. Today, we need to thank your tutors, who work with such passion and commitment to educate the decision makers of tomorrow. We must thank your parents, guardians, and your family who stand behind you, offering the support that cannot be measured. Thank your friends who stand by your side and for just being there. And thank yourself for having the perseverance to see this expedition in the search of knowledge, insights, and understanding through to the end. You have shown resilience throughout your journey, and at the most challenging time, education has shown to be resilient also. However, we must learn from this pandemic and how change was foisted upon us. We must transform education, and we must do it so that it remains resilient and meets the challenges of tomorrow. COVID-19 has served as a reset button. There are opportunities. Key elements of our higher education system needed to become more agile and permeable throughout the human lifespan. Needs to be flexible and adaptable between online, remote, and face-to-face context. We must learn from the transitions of education and research undergone during the pandemic and build on these. However, any transformation or reimagining of university education has to go hand in glove with a reform of its funding model and an enhancement of its investment into its research infrastructure, capacity, and capabilities. Addressing both the exponential speed in which knowledge and competencies demands evolve, we need to enhance access to education and enable formal and informal learning opportunities, and upskilling throughout the human life cycle and not just at its beginning. Closing the gap between established educational models and agendas on the one hand and learners and societal needs on the other will not only ensure the global competitiveness of the Irish economy, it is vital for furthering and safeguarding social inclusion and cohesion and for the thriving of our communities. Considerations for the future of education have to focus on growing a sense of interrelatedness between individuals and the community, between the local and the global, and importantly, they have to support the move beyond unsustainable economic growth models and further regenerative approaches to halt climate change and address the planetary health. As I mentioned before, we are part of a local and international community. You have an opportunity to be part of that future of education, both directly and indirectly. Since its foundation, UL has evolved from a regional institution to a national university with growing European and global reach through excellence in research and education. We have you, our alumni, who are the much sought after graduates that industry so desires and engaged citizen society needs. Armed with a valuable award, you can help shape the ways of tomorrow, answer the biggest challenges we face, and strive to the greater heights we desire. Challenges such as climate change and regenerating the planet and the oceans is going to require the ensemble of sciences, all of them. The advancements of innovative technology, collaboration across disciplines, sectors and nations. Above all, it requires talent with intellectual passion, critical engagement and emotional intelligence, judgment and empathy. You are entering into that world as our ambassadors and we are so proud of you. Graduates, you have prevailed during a unique moment in history and your graduation marks a significant milestone on your personal journey of growth, on your quest to fulfill your goals and nurture your aspirations. I hope you will look back fondly on your time at UL in Limerick and as part of a community of scholars. Our post-pandemic societal rejuvenation will be supported by the addition of people like you, bringing your skills, creativity and commitment into the community. We will continue to look for support from all levels of society, from government, from our industry partners and from our communities. We will continue to strive and thrive so that we do compete internationally and continue to explore and exploit the imposed changes for the better. Our higher education institutes protect the value of academic achievements proudly and fiercely by ensuring that our governance of your educational journey reaches the highest international standards. The importance of our sector has been highlighted because of this pandemic. Science and the relevance of educational engagement and global research activities is how we overcome adversities such as this current pandemic. Therefore, we continue to stand firm against any dilutions of educational standards to ensure that you can use your degree confidently and proudly in the knowledge that it is an unquestionable statement of ability, academic integrity and attainment. Today, you join a global community of the best alumni from Limerick, people who contribute to and make a difference to the lives of individuals, communities and nations on a daily basis. Cherish the knowledge and truths you have gained, keep adding to it, and remember that you are now alumni of this institution. You are inextricably linked and we urge you to stay in touch as you go out into the world for the next exciting chapter of your lives. To finish, I will offer you this. As we look forward to the rest of the year and 2022 with growing optimism, remember this. Patient, determination and hard work will always bring success. And now you are equipped with the skill set and the tools to achieve success and overcome challenges. While we face challenges, we need to be cognizant of our own self-worth, our growth and our potential to achieve. Savor the short-term success, but be mindful of your long-term fulfillment and all the while think carefully about your priorities. I will close by wishing you all the very best for your new adventures in the knowledge that when life does become uncertain, you will always find comfort and sustenance from the achievement of your graduation. Feel tall, Be proud, savor and relish this achievement. Congratulations and well done. Thank you very much.
I'm pleased to call on Professor Sean Arkins, Executive Dean, Faculty of Science and Engineering, to make his address of welcome and to present the candidates for conferring of undergraduate and postgraduate awards.
Hello, my name is Sean Arkins. I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Science and Engineering. Congratulations. You're graduating from challenging programs in the Faculty of Science and Engineering and at particularly challenging times. Your college experience have differed radically from that of every previous graduating class and hopefully all future graduating classes. You have been uniquely challenged in the fire of a global pandemic, and while the challenge hasn't yet expired, we can now perhaps look forward to brighter days ahead and to a time when the lockdown will be a distant memory. Over 100 years ago, a disease misnamed as Spanish flu affected a staggering 1/3 of the world's population and killed 50 million. But 1918 was a world that didn't know viruses very well. The first virus had just been identified. Now we are all familiar with PCR tests and the merits of mRNA or viral vaccines. Technology has also enabled us to better adapt. Can you imagine trying to navigate the current pandemic without the developments that we've made in the past 40 years in science, engineering, design, mathematics, computing? The aftermath of the 1918 pandemic brought a baby boom, the Charleston, and the Roaring '20s. Life after COVID-19 would also be different. We have learned how to work differently and perhaps better. But unlike our ancestors in the 1920s, our post-COVID world cannot afford to return to life as before. You, the class of 2021, must help to show us how not to put the pieces back together again, but instead how to create a new and better normal. The pandemic has shown us the many inequalities that have defined our lives for far too long. It has also allowed us to reflect on how we would like our world and lives to be, and has fostered a better appreciation of our community and environment. And that environment is endangered. Global warming, due to increased greenhouse gases in the industrial world, poses the most severe problem for governments today. While science and engineering developments were central to industrialization and the resulting global challenges, science and engineering disciplines will also be critical to the solutions. From now on, our developments must be sustainable. Scientific, engineering, and technological innovation will be central to achieving sustainable development. These Sustainable Development Goals were created by the United Nations and identify a set of targets, such as the eradication of extreme poverty, the delivery of improved education and healthcare for all, and equality for women. Many of these goals, like affordable, sustainable energy and health and well-being, will particularly challenge the ingenuity and technology of science and engineering graduates. As science and engineering graduates, your abilities will be critical to achieving sustainable development in our post-COVID world as we struggle to realign our ambitions with sustainable climate health. Your disciplines will be key to supporting the post-COVID recovery as we look to increasing our efficiency and effectiveness in the production of products and the delivery of services in a sustainable manner. Your experience, together with the independence and resilience that you have developed over the past semesters, will stand you well in your future career. Your expertise will be necessary to drive all our economic ambitions and to provide the foundations for a sustainable future. Science and engineering disciplines are continuously developing. Continuous learning is the minimum requirement for success in any field. Stay open to change. The University of Limerick and the Faculty of Science and Engineering will be here with current and state-of-the-art programs to help you on your career journey. In closing, let me congratulate you, our graduates today, on your achievements in particularly challenging times. You all have bright futures ahead. Well done to all of you, and I hope you enjoy this event.
I am pleased to announce the winner of the 2021 Teaching Excellence Individual Award is Dr. Shalini Singh.
President, the Academic Council of the University has been satisfied that the following candidates are worthy to be conferred undergraduate and taught postgraduate awards. Therefore, I present the candidates and request that you confer the awards on them. The Assistant Dean International, Dr. David Tanner, will now call the candidates in each award category and in alphabetical order.
Bachelor of Engineering in Aeronautical Engineering, Haytham Abnoon, Abdul Baset Al-Zahari, Killian Boland, Luke Breen, Alec Byrne, Anthony Collins, Jim Collison, Pádraig Cronin, John Cummins, Connell DePere, Mel Vincent de la Cruz, Shauna Dixon, Dara Fay, Cool Gale, Julianne Grehan, James Hallis, Sean Hickey, Joseph Jordan, Khalid Camille, Fred Leonard, Ellen Liu, Sean McNamara, Colin McNeilis, Ronan Moore, Brian O'Malley, Morris Prendergast, Sean Prendeville, Oren Reynolds, Rebecca Rowe, Vittoria Serva, Samir Sharif, Callum Winship. Bachelor of Engineering in Biomedical Engineering, Alan Abraham, Mohammed Emmanuel Al-Kazmi, Abdullah Al-Nakali, Joseph Barrett Gibson, Lorna Cagney, Orla Cotter, Brian Cunningham, Sinead Deely, Niall English, Joseph Gannon, Aisling Graney, Danielle Grehan, Connor Guilfoyle, Michael Hanley, Aoife Keane, Schaefer Keane, Holly Keating, Cathal Locke, Tom Luby, Michael McSweeney, Ellen Merry, James O'Byrne, Sean O'Dwyer, Conan O'Sullivan, Shane O'Sullivan, Agnes Peary, Aaron Reed, Deirdre Ryan, Darren Slattery, Shona Young. Bachelor of Engineering in Chemical and Biochemical Engineering, Emmett Clohessy, Aaron Crahan, Cathal Crosby, Ash DeVos, Paul Flynn, Emma Gaffney, Jack Grace, Abigail Jeffrey, Adam Kelly, Dara Kelly, David Leahy, Aisling Madden, Yasmin McGarvey, Connor McGrath, Dara McGrath, Adrian Meany, Aisling O'Brien, Ciara O'Sullivan, Alana O'Toole, Carl Pichon, Sarah Quinn, Siobhan Regan, Matthew Scully, Aoife Walsh. Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering, Thomas Griffin, Dara Lahan, Chung-Lu Lee, Long Lee, Owen McElligott, Kieran O'Donoghue, Peter O'Flynn, Michael Ryan, Xin Wang, Bole Zheng. Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering, John Bulfin, Mark Camperhusen, Jack Doherty, Michael Dolan, Beveen Egan, Danielle Finn, James Fitzgerald, Oisin Fitzgibbon, Brian Friel, Rao Fu, Owen Guinan, Sison Han, Danielle Hathaway, Michelle Heffernan, Shane Hogan, Ronan Kiley, Mary Lambert, Kieran Long, Jiancheng Man, Robin McCarthy, Emer O'Brien, Sean Tierney, Aoife Vaughan, Connor Walsh.
I am pleased to confirm the recipient of the 2021 Silver Medal Cooperative Education Award, Faculty of Science and Engineering, is Sean Prendeville, Bachelor of Engineering in Aeronautical Engineering, who completed his co-op with Magellin Aviation Services. I now call upon our newest graduate from the faculty, Miss Aisling Grayley, to say a few words to her peers in the graduating class of 2021.
Welcome professors, tutors, staff, family, friends and graduates to the graduation for the engineering class of 2021. It is an honour to be speaking with you here today. Today is a day in which we reminisce upon and celebrate our perseverance, sweat and yes, even tears that went into the hard work that has brought us here. And for that, I would like to say congratulations to everyone. Someone told me that a graduation speech should be all inspiring and give some measure of advice which the graduates can take with them. However, I stand before you knowing nothing which you do not know, so instead of trying to impart some sort of wisdom, I can only reflect on our time spent here and share with you my hopes for our future. When I was asked to write this speech, I had to think back to what seemed like a lifetime ago. 4 years ago, each one of us made the firm decision to pursue a graduate degree course. Sometime very soon after the fun and relaxation of orientation week was over, we were struck with the harsh reality that this was no longer secondary school. Classes were in full swing and the everlasting lab sessions began. Each of us has had our own unique experiences at UL, a combination of good times and bad times. One thing that I will reflect upon is the way that UL has been most of our home away from home for the past few years. During our time at UL, we have all met so many new people, made lasting friendships and lived through lifelong memories. First year was the time to make mistakes. Second year was the time to learn from them. Third year gave us the chance to apply our learning in the new world. and final year was full speed ahead with our eyes on the prize. In the middle of it, many of us wanted to give up, wanted to pack our bags and go home. Honestly, that would have been the easier choice, but we stuck through it all, thick and thin. We should be immensely proud of the achievement that we celebrate today, despite the pressure of the global pandemic. We adapted and we persevered, and because of that, the future is brighter. After today, we leave the protection of the college, the community of our friends, roommates and lecturers, to find and forge new communities of our own. Some of us plan to further our studies, some of us are entering the world of work. Whatever we choose to do next, we can rest assured that having been through our years here, we can and will succeed. To conclude, a sincere thank you to all the lecturers, staff and tutors who helped us through this degree. To our families and friends who always supported us and lent a sympathetic ear to our frustrated rants. You have always played an integral role in bringing us to where we are today, and for this we thank you. And finally, to my fellow graduates, I wish you a long, happy, successful career in engineering. Congratulations to everyone once again. Enjoy your celebrations today with your families and loved ones. Thank you.
I am now pleased to call on Professor Anne Ledworth, Executive Dean, Graduate and Professional Studies, to present the PhD candidates.
President, the Academic Council of the University has been satisfied that the following candidates are worthy to be awarded a doctoral degree by research and thesis. Therefore, I present the candidates to you and request you to confer the awards on them. Each doctoral candidate has successfully undertaken a programme of study and research involving the submission of a thesis and its examination by internal and external examiners.
Doctor of Philosophy, Sharon Balanta. The title of Sharon's thesis is Synthesis and Characterization of Multifunctional Hydrogels for Biomedical Applications. The supervisor was Dr. Emmett O'Reilly. Miriama Seresnikova. The title of Miriama's thesis is Development of in vitro models for the investigation of stem cell interactions. The supervisors were Dr. Sarah Hudson and Professor Tufik Suleiman. Michelle Dully. The title of Michelle's thesis is Design and Characterization of Monoacylglycerol lipid cubic phase systems for the effective delivery of small molecule pharmaceuticals. The supervisors were Professor Tufik Suleiman and Dr. Sarah Hudson. Abimbola Ikoya. The title of Abimbola's thesis is Application of Near-Infrared Spectroscopy for the Determination of Organic and Inorganic Nutrients in Animal Nutrition. The supervisor was Dr. Bridget Young. Naveen Kumar. The title of Naveen's thesis is Crystal Engineering of Layered and Pillared Square Lattice Networks for Adsorptive Separation of Hydrocarbons. The supervisor was Professor Michael Zarotko. Fiona McGrath. The title of Fiona's thesis is Synthesis and Characterization of Perovskite and chalcogenide semiconductor materials for optoelectrical applications. The supervisor was Professor Kevin Ryan. Laura Perino. The title of Laura's thesis is Physical, Biochemical and Molecular Characterization of the Cervix of European ewe breeds with known differences in pregnancy rates following cervical artificial insemination with frozen thawed semen. The supervisor was Professor Sean Fair. Sally Ryan. The title of Sally's thesis is Long-Acting Biotherapeutics to Treat Gemcitabine-Resistant Pancreatic Cancer. The supervisor was Dr. Sarah Hudson and Professor Tufik Suleiman.
Graduates, Thank you for watching this online ceremony today, which I hope you enjoyed. On behalf of everyone at UL, I offer you our warmest congratulations to each and every one of you and wish you all every success in your future career path.